Hello everyone, how are you doing today? At first, you're having an excellent day. In today's class, we'll be talking about RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is so crucial, and you're going to understand how it can help to update real-time knowledge and how AI can be able to avoid hallucinations and guessings. So this is a very big update on AI that has made increase and great progress. So in this slide, we're looking at enhancing AI with real-time knowledge and understanding retrieval augmented generation. So what is RAG, retrieval augmented generation? So this is an idea, an AI technique that retrieves external knowledge before generating an answer. So when AI first came out, what it did is it has a whole lot of knowledge because it's trained. AI is trained. They're trained on vast amount of knowledge. I call them data sets in different fields, in coding, in English, in stories, in history. They have a whole lot of knowledge about a lot of things. They've been trained also a particular year. So the first training, I think it was up to 2021. Then they had to do a lot of training again. So they train it a whole lot with images. They train it with text. They train it with so many things. So AI is more like an expert that is, trained with so much. And what we do in prompt engineering is to be able to prompt the expert to be able to give us answers. And it's not about how much the expert knows, but how much we can be able to draw from what the expert knows. So that's what prompt engineering is. That now, to improve the model of prompt engineering, retrieval augmented generation was added because AI is trained to a particular level and it takes a whole lot of money, resources to be able to train these machines to be able to have human capacity of knowledge on various fields. So now imagine that you want to actually ask for information that is in 2023 or 2024 and the AI was trained up to 2021. The first thing to tell you is I don't have that knowledge. I'm trained up to this level. So how can we do it now that we don't have to start retraining these models again and again? Because it has a whole lot of cost to retrain them. And how can it be updated with information about last week, last month, and everything? That is where the concept of retrieval augmented generation has come in, where AI can, retrieve external knowledge from various sources before generating an answer. So now, if you ask AI for something it doesn't know, what it tries to do is to go and access real-time data of private data, then to check, it will keep updating its knowledge. It will go and check the browsers, check everywhere, who has the answers to what you have. So rather than just spitting out things that it thinks or hallucinating, like, it just gives you answers that it feels is correct by just, assuming. Now it's going to fetch real-time data and then going to generate an answer for you. That's the concept of retrieval augmented generation. So this is a process that enhances, AI by giving them data to real-time or private data. So, why is AI needed? RAG in AI needed because of large language models are limited. One of the limitations is knowledge cutoff because they are trained to a particular level, and then once they don't have knowledge of anything above that level, so there's a knowledge cutoff, and they can hallucinate because they are trained on so much data. So when you ask something that looks like what they are trained of, they can just start telling you a whole lot of things that are not true, but they sound like they are true. Then the limitations of traditional LLMs is the fact that they don't have access to private or internal data. So the solution was RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. In this way, this is how RAG works. Let's break it down. The first is spirit. You ask the question, you prompt, you ask the question. Next thing is it will retrieve. It will go and search through external database, whether APIs, search through, through databases of different places. then pulls relevant info from these places. Then to augment, it will retrieve that data and add it to the prompt. You retrieve data is added to the prompt. Then you now give it generate a better informed answer. So that's the concept. So it's just like a student with a live research assistant. So think about it. Jerry, you ask the question, retrieve goes and pulls search from different sources and search if you have an answer from anywhere someone has talked about it, like a reliable source or whatever it is. Then to augment, it will add it to his the prompt and add it to his knowledge. Then it will generate and give a better answer, which is far better than just generating an answer because it feels it is correct. So another thing we'll look at now is the visual process flow. So here we have the user asks questions, it searches external knowledge, combine query and retrieve documents, and generate an answer. You can see this retrieval, you see this process and see how it's fine displaying. So let's look at the analogy there between the traditional LLMs and RAG. So traditional LLM is like a very smart student that answers from the memory. Those days when we're giving questions in school, is what they call la cram la pour. So what the intelligence was defined as that time was someone who can really pour out what he has crammed. So you see, somebody is giving a question, he goes, reads all that the teacher said, wrote in his notes word for word, then pause it, then they give him 5/5. Excellent student. Well, that's not definition of intelligence now, because intelligence is not just about being able to cram and pour. That's how traditional LLM were an expert that knows everything, then pours out of his knowledge. But with RAG LLM now, it doesn't just believe it knows everything. It looks up into correct info before answering. So that's the difference. Then the benefits of RAG, improved accuracy, that's the first one. Real-time or private data access. No need to retrain LLMs every time again and again, because it's so expensive to train LLMs. It will attribute the source so that you can be able to refer back to it. It is cost effect. So let's look at real life example of this. You can ask, what's Nigeria's climate funding policy update in May 2025? Now, traditional LLM cannot know that because it was trained probably up to 2021, and if it is retrained, maybe up to 2023 or thereabout. So, but RAG can work with that because it can fetch real-time document and answer accurately, and it will cite a source for that. So let's look at this. This is a fun aspect of it. Imagine AI glasses dictate a car part. RAG system fetches return info, and info appears as an overlay on the parts. So this is not yet available. This is just a heuristic vision of what will still can happen. So let's look at the summary of all of this. RAG bridges the gap between general AI knowledge and specific real-time data. Core takeaway: smarter generation starts with smarter retrieval. All right, so this is what we take for the class. Then we can look more into other aspects.